Hello everyone! Well, it's our second lesson on bar charts or bar graphs, and today we're really looking at what it is to compare the value of bars. And in particular, we're going to be looking at how we use subtraction, so take away or minus to compare. So let's have a little look. So what are we doing? We're comparing amounts on bar graphs, and let's make sure we know what that word means. So in maths, when we're comparing two amounts, it means we are looking at two different amounts, two different numbers, and we're saying, for example, which is bigger and which is smaller, and how much bigger and how much smaller one is than the other. And it's really useful to be able to use subtraction to compare two amounts. Really helpful, particularly when the numbers get much bigger. So let's think for a moment that when we have these comparison questions, it's almost like there's two kinds of answer. So let's look at these ones here, which I've written in red. And these are comparison questions with word answers. So here we've got a bar graph, which is nicest fruit. So we asked people which fruit they thought was nicest. And all the answers here are going to be word answers. Which fruit was most popular? Well, remember, we're looking for the largest number, the highest bar. Okay, blueberries was most popular. Which fruit was least popular? We're looking for the smallest number, the smallest bar, grapes. Which is more popular, apples or oranges? Well, now we're comparing we're comparing just these two, and we're saying which is more. Okay, apples is more than oranges, more popular. But if we look at these questions here, which are written in blue, well, these are all comparison questions also, not with word answers, but with number answers. So we've got to compare the two numbers and say how many more or how many fewer, how much less. How many more people said blueberries than grapes? Blueberries the most popular up here, grapes down here. How many more people said blueberries than grapes? So we're looking for a number answer to that question. How many fewer people means how many less, how many fewer. What's the difference in the number of people who said apples and the number who said oranges? So let's look at some of these questions. So we're particularly going to practice these blue questions where we are comparing and trying to find the number that says how many more, how many less. Right. Children in class 3, this bar graph shows the children in class 3 voted on what colour the school uniform should be. And the children could choose between red and blue. So we see. Okay. How many more children chose red than blue? Have a go. Stop the video. Now, I wonder what calculation you used. I wonder if you used adding or subtraction, because I really want you to think today about using subtraction. So how many more children chose red than blue? Well, here's the red, here's the blue. Let's first of all think how many children chose blue. Well, look at the top. that's 10, isn't it? So 10 children chose blue. Now, if I went across the same height and I cut this red bar into two parts, this is the same height as the blue bar, isn't it? Where I've drawn the line is the same. So it's the same height, the same size, this part, as the blue. Means if the blue part is 10, the red part is the same size, it's 10. And this part here is the part that is more. These are the children who were more, and the whole bar is 16. So, can you see what subtraction it would be? Well, I've tried to draw it on the next page. So look, we've got to think the whole red bar is 16 votes, isn't it? Can you see? From the bottom all the way up to the top of the red bar is 16. The whole value of that red bar is 16. And we can split that whole bar into two parts, like I was just saying. Because we can see that the blue bar at the top, that is on the 10 line, so the blue part is 10. And this, therefore, if we draw a line in the same place, we're splitting our red bar, our red hole, into two parts. The first part is the same number as the blue, so it's the same 10. And now I've got to remember what I've been learning about part whole all the way through the school. The whole, look, I've written it here. The whole, take away one part, leaves the other part. That's right, we've got the whole red. If I were to take away this bit of the bar, cross it out, take it away, if I took that away, all I would be left with is the bit on the top. Am I right? The part on the top. So the whole, take away one part, the whole, take away one part, leaves the other part. The whole amount, the whole red bar is 16. We take away the part which is the same as the blue, the 10. 16 take away 10 equals 6. So this part, which is more, is 6. 6 more children said red than blue. We could also say 6 fewer children said blue than red. Now imagine that the children could vote on 3 colours for a school bag: blue, yellow or red. And here's the question I want you to stop the video and have a go at doing. How many more children voted red, here's red, than yellow? Stop the video, have a go, and please try to write down a subtraction that you would use. Okay, well I hope you did have a go at that, and I hope you tried to use the subtraction. So we are comparing, aren't we, the size of the red bar to the size of the yellow bar. So let's just start off by saying how many children voted yellow. Well, if I read that across carefully, 15. They're halfway between 10 and 20 here. Oops. We've got 50. 15 people said yellow. So I've got to remember that I've got a whole red bar And I'm going to split it into two parts, just like the previous example. The whole red bar split it. Oh, sorry, I must read the value of the whole red bar. Forgotten to do that. So the whole red bar, all of that red bar, is halfway between 70 and 80 is 75. So that whole red bar is 75 all together. And we're splitting it into two parts. The part which is the same size as the yellow, if it only was the same height as the yellow bar, it would be the same number, wouldn't it? 15. And now we need to know this part, how many more? And I remember the whole amount of the bar, the red bar, is 75. Remember, the whole, take away one part, the whole, take away the part that is 15, take away the part that is the same as the yellow, will tell us what the other part must be. 75 take away 15 is 60. So this part here must be 60. If we add them together, we can check. 60 add 15 is 75, which is the value of the whole bar. How many more children voted red than yellow? Our answer is 60 children. Okay, so pause the video, have a go at this one. How many fewer children voted yellow than blue? Remember, fewer is the word that means less. How many fewer children? What is the number that is? By how many is it less? How many fewer children voted yellow than blue? And try to write down the subtraction. Pause the video, have a go. Well, again, we've got two amounts to compare, and we've got the yellow amount. Now I remember the yellow amount before, do you remember we said it was 15, wasn't it? So the yellow is still 15. The blue, all together, the whole value of the blue, is 55. Isn't it? Because the top of the blue bar comes across to halfway between 50 and 60, it's 55. And we can split that blue bar into two parts. This part, which is the same as the yellow, the same, those two numbers are the same, and then this part here, which is more for the blue, but also this is the same gap, which shows how many fewer. Now, how many more and how many fewer are really the same question, because it's showing the same gap. So we've got to say the whole of the blue bar is 55. Remember? The whole, take away one part, gives us the other part. So 55 is the whole of the blue. Take away the part that is the same. Will tell us what this missing part is worth. 55 take away 15 is 40. So this part of the bar must be 40. Check it by adding them together. 40 add 15 is 55. How many fewer children? Look, it's 40 on both sides, isn't it? 40 children is the gap between the yellow, top of the yellow line, and the top of the blue bar. So can you see how many fewer children voted yellow than blue? 40 fewer children. I hope that makes sense. For your work, we've got some similar questions where the children were voting for the colour of an official school bag. And actually, it's not only blue, yellow or red. There's blue, yellow, red, grey and green. So I'll just change that now. And we have questions. So level 1 is these kind of questions which need a word answer. But for level 2, please make sure that you are doing a subtraction and showing the subtraction that you would use to compare the two numbers. Have a go. Remember, you could always ask us in Google Classroom if you are not sure, and we will look forward to seeing your work. Well done. We hope that we will see you soon, everybody. Bye.